And now I'm at part 4, and I think this is the conclusion, hopefully. Existentialism, and this is where everything gets... I'm talking about perspective, and this is really where I get into this with Broken. There are 2 sides to trauma. There is being trapped within the trauma, and then there's on the outside of trauma looking in. And when you are trapped in trauma, that's the person experiences it, whether it's rape, a car accident, watching 2 towers in New York fall, you don't process that it is trauma at the time that it happens. You're so busy surviving it that you don't think, wow, that was traumatic. I wonder what I just walked away with. Excuse me. So, when I was raped, it didn't feel like rape. It didn't look like rape. I was chained to a bed. He was sitting there drinking my blood and torturing me. And it didn't look like trauma. It didn't look like rape. I told him, this is somebody else, I told a certain man no, because he wanted to have sex right after Tower 1 fell on 9/11. I wasn't in the mood, because I'm listening to 3,000 people die, and I said no, and it didn't matter. He took me to my bedroom anyway, and he raped me while I listened to 3,000 people die. It didn't feel like rape at the time, and it didn't look like it. In fact, it took me 10 years to look back and go, oh, he raped me, didn't he? And then there's my first husband, who heard about the situation and went, that's rape. No, it's not. And here's my second husband looking at me going, Angela, that's rape. No, it's not. It took me writing Broken to take that outside point of view and go, oh, hell, was that rape? Trauma doesn't look like trauma when you're in it. And what really doesn't help is the numbness that we've all developed. And that is what I think is really wrong with our society, is we've all gotten used to it. That, in my opinion, is what is wrong with today's society. Is we're used to it. It's normal. We don't question it. We stopped asking why. In fact, I don't think we ever did. We've been only practicing this for a few thousand years. We're normal. This is the way humans are. And it doesn't have to be anymore. It is not okay to be raped. It is not okay to rape. It's not okay to kill. It's not okay to character assassinate, to call names, to bully. We're better than that now. This is the information age, after all. We can rise above that now. Character assassination is when you call people other names and tear down their personality. I just learned another term yesterday called triangling. Oh, is that insightful. Most of us know what triangling is without even realizing what it is. Triangling is when somebody you know, asks another person or manipulates another person to do something for them with a third person. For instance, and this has happened to me from my entire life. Person A says to me, hey, this person is mad at me, person B is mad at me, can you please, do A, B, and C? And this puts me in the middle of it. And every child of a divorced parent went, I've had that happen to me, yeah. That's triangling. And there is a psychological consequence with triangling. There is a psychological consequence when you look at your child and say to them, what am I supposed to do with your sibling? There is a psychological consequence when somebody calls you a name. There is a psychological consequence for almost everything. And one of the things I said to my husband last night was, in 1950s, when we painted that perfect dream and that American dream, and did you ever see the movie Twins? That's what I said to him. I said, and this is a spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm about to tell you how it ends. So, the movie Twins is about scientists who line up all these pregnant women and take a survey, and they select a woman. And they treat her, they basically select her for a, excuse me, yes I do. They select her for a science experiment, and they basically explain that they're going to give her hormones, proper nutrition. They give her some other excuse, and she goes along with it because she thinks, oh yeah, it's better for the baby. And it is very much better for the baby what they did. She delivers the 2 children. The mother basically gives the children up for adoption. Excuse me. She ends up with twins. And they only wanted the one child, so the scientists throw the other one away. They put him in an orphanage. And that character is portrayed by Danny DeVito. The other one, the one that they really wanted, the one that they injected with the hormones and gave nutritional value to, that one was Arnold Schwarzenegger. They put him in a perfect environment with a perfect family, and they raised him in the ideal situation. The movie is about the 2 brothers finding each other and having that twin connection that there's talk about. So they're drawn together, and they start to ask some questions, and they start to do some investigation, and they find the scientific files that prove what really happened. That basically Arnold Schwarzenegger was provided with all these scenarios and nutrition and hormone supplements and vitamins, and literally Danny DeVito was the leftovers. And Danny DeVito has every kind of psychological, I should say his character, has every kind of psychological order you can imagine. Abandonment issues, commitment issues. While Arnold Schwarzenegger has none. Supposedly. So the movie unfolds. The bad guys are out to get them. They defeat the bad guys. Everything's settled. The 2 brothers come together in an office, and now they're working together. And the camera takes a floor shot. You see a woman walk in with a teddy bear. She opens the door, and she's standing there, and she says, I'm your mother. And the 2 boys stand up, and they go, Mom. And she says, they told me that you had died. Now you see Danny DeVito react. His character falls apart, Mom. But then you see Arnold Schwarzenegger's character react. The one who supposedly had a perfect life. And he responded the exact same way. And the moral of the story is, there is no such thing as a perfect life. No one has grown up without being affected emotionally somehow. Think about the odds, the probability of somebody living a perfect life and being completely sound without any psychological negative stimuli. Not going to happen. Highly improbable. Statistically impossible. Like, so freakishly impossible that the improbability drive would kick in and activate. I mean, that's how improbable this is. So now that we've established that the odds are against us, that we're going to be okay and normal, this is where we step back and we go, so what is? What have I been through? What has been bothering me? What psychological damage have I taken in the last 20 years or 50 years or 70 years? I am a firm believer that all people at age 20-ish, 18, seriously need to see a therapist. That's because you just walked out of a 20-year relationship with parents and siblings. You're going to have issues. Because you have, in order to have a perfect child, you have to have perfect parents. And you may have had very good parents, but what are the odds that something didn't affect you somewhere? So now we're looking at denial, we're looking at awareness. And yes, I'm walking away from all of this saying everybody has mental issues. That's really what I'm saying. Everybody is mentally messed up. I could sit there and tell you all the horrible things I went through. I was 6 and watching animals get ripped apart and their pieces thrown at me. I, at one point in my life, had to choose between being raped and being beaten. I chose being raped because I could survive that. And I'm still smiling. And I've been through the therapy. I'm still going through the therapy. And yesterday, 3 days ago, I went into one of my worlds and I spoke to Bergen. Yes, I speak to my fictitious character all the time. He's one of the 4 characters who I talk to. So, and it was the first time I did not want to be in one of my worlds. That is huge for me. I have been stuck in those worlds since I was 12. And it was the first time I went there and said, I don't want to be here. I am so ready to be happy and to be normal. And now that I'm here, I'm going, all it took was awareness and honesty. A lot of honesty. And a lot of people are going, well, it also took strength too and courage. The courage to me is interesting because it didn't take courage. You see, because of the amount of abuse I endured, I have no sense of privacy. 0. I was raped publicly, repeatedly, so privacy just does not exist with me. It upsets my therapist sometimes because it's why I share so much with you, is because I really don't have a sense of privacy. So I don't view it as courage because I'm not overcoming embarrassment. But it did take strength to accept the fact that somebody hurt me. And I want so badly, so badly, for everyone to just take a deep breath and say, okay, for my children, I'm ready to get better. That is what I want so badly. For everyone to just join me. And I cannot tell you enough how badly I want this. It's why I published Broken. It's because I wanted to show people this is exactly how you get over awareness. This is how you do it. It's total, complete honesty with yourself. It is okay to hurt. It is okay to cry. You are entitled to be angry and hurt and upset when something violates you. That's okay that you get upset. It isn't okay to ignore it. And I feel like we're all ignoring it. And we are all transferring and redirecting our anger and suppressing it. And if you haven't done it, watch the movie Inside Out. so many ways. So many ways. It is correct. And as my son's therapist pointed out, did you notice that she didn't act okay? That she didn't smile again until the very end when she talked to her parents? And I know there's so many people going, I can't talk to my parents. I know you can't. I know. I can never talk to mine. In fact, when I talk to my mother, I have to lie if I'm ever to converse with her. And I won't lie anymore. So, it hurts, and you deal with it. And you accept the hurt. And I will say again, 1,000,000 times over, awareness goes a long way. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.